Hello everybody, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and this is a familiar sight if you've been on my channel. I am on the Scout motorcycle once more, but this isn't the same Scout. This is actually the Scout 60. This one is a little bit smaller, where the other one is 1150 cc. This one is actually only, I think, a little under 1,000. I think this one's a 900. And it's also a 5-speed versus a 6-speed. So this will be a first ride impression of this one. I know that the original Scout was really nice, the good horsepower and everything like that, so I just want to try this one out. Something I noticed kind of immediately about this particular bike is that it actually has a few things that... Let's see. Okay. Actually has a few things less than the other one. What I mean by less is that on the very front end it doesn't have a block there for the cabling, so you see the cabling on this bike. You know, you see a few things that are a little bit different. The headlight's actually a little bit different as well, it looks like. This bike does have the same options where you can go through and you can look at this. There's your engine temperature, 174, 137 miles on the odometer, trip odometer, and 1800 RPM tachometer, so you can just kind of scroll through there and get an idea of what you got. Like I said, this one is liquid cooled, unlike the Dark Horse, and this one is also just a 5-speed. I need to remember that. The other ones were 6-speed, so is the other. All right. Yeah, there's not as much power on this one as there is the other Scout. I mean, it's not a detractor though. I mean, it actually doesn't feel bad at all. You know, it feels just as tight as the other Scout in terms of power. So overall, I'm just kind of feeling it out real fast so I can kind of get you an opinion on it. Clutch is good too. I mean, everything grabs real well. Let's see if the engine braking is still good. Engine braking is still great on this bike, despite the detracted little bit of difference in the CC rating on this one. Still very, very low to the ground. I kind of forget that, so I slam my foot on the ground because I forget how low this one is. Only about 25.8 inches, somewhere less than 26, so very low end. And you can see a regular Scout next to me there, and you can kind of see what I was talking about if you can see the front handlebar clip there. Yeah, it doesn't accelerate as hard for sure as the original Scout, but like I said, it's not really anything too bad. I mean, this particular bike starts at $9,000, so it's $2,000 less than the other Scout, the 69 cubic inch or whatever they want to say. Like I said, this does have a gear indicator on it. It says I'm in the top gear, 5th gear. Going about 40 miles an hour. Can actually kick it down one, it'll be fine. There we go. Feels a lot better in that 4th gear at 40. I mean, overall, I mean, it feels exactly like the other Scout. The rear suspension is still just as jarring whenever you hit some of these broken spots, and I've hit quite a few already. So it's just as jarring. The front suspension actually, I don't know why, but the front suspension feels a little softer than the Scout I rode back in Oklahoma. I don't know if the Scout 60 has a slightly different front end or what may be the case on that. It could be this one's a little bit more worn or something, but it does definitely have a little bit more dive in it. It does, whenever you hit the brakes, it has a little bit mushier feel on the front. I mean, you can sit there and actually see that thing dive quite a few inches there. But I mean, this is still a great frame. If you're looking for an entry-level bike from Indian and you want to get into an Indian, and you know, you're looking at Harley Sportsters and things like that, this bike right now is priced at the same rate. You're looking at, you know, a good price break there, being that this one's $9,000. You still get a little bit more than the $883 in terms of cc's and things like that, so you get more horsepower, that's for sure. You get a lot more bike really for the money with this one than you do the 883 Sportster, which is what this one's more leveled at than the 1200. And even then, if you go to the 1200 Sportster, this bike still has a lot more to offer. You know, the liquid cooling aspect of it is really great. And like I said, this is really well built. It's also a 5-speed, just like the Sportster, because any Sportster is a 5-speed, 1200, 883. Comfort on this thing is a lot better than the Iron. Not as good as the 1200C or the let's see, the 1200T I also had as well. Those bikes had really comfortable seats, but I did have some touring stuff going on. I didn't actually have a 1200C, but I've ridden some, and they're very comfortable. So, but this bike is you know, just pretty good. I mean, it's got a solo seat on it, so you're not gonna have to worry about passengers wanting to come with you. But this is a bike that my wife is still looking at. She actually did get to ride the regular Scout today. She was gonna ride this one when she got a chance to, but right now it's a little bit warm for her, so she went back inside while I come out on this ride here, just kind of getting around once more on this. And I really do enjoy the Scout, just like the last time. It's a very well put together bike. This is this particular one's first year, just like the other Scout last year. This one is put together very well for a first year bike. I mean, I know it's not much different. You know, I know that there's a few things that go away, like you got these cables just hanging out in the wind now, unlike the other one that's got the little cap on top of it. I'll try to take a picture to show that difference there, and take the front end of pictures of both of them, because I've got the regular Scout that's right over here. So whenever I get off and take pictures of this little guy, I'll take some shots and show you that difference. But I mean, overall, when you buy this one, you're still going to get a great motorcycle. It's a very competent motorcycle. Like I said in my last Scout review, this particular one, I mean, it's just such a great balanced frame. Everything's mounted perfectly. Your center of gravity is nice and low. You can dive into corners very well. You still have a front mounted pegs, but since I'm a little bit taller, you know, it makes me feel like I'm actually about a mid-mount. I don't know why that is, but that's what it feels like. I feel like a mid-mount in a way. But overall, like I said, it's a Scout. It's just as good. I mean, a little bit less on horsepower, one less gear, but hey, still a fantastic bike, still on my recommended list. Anyway, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and this is kind of my first ride review of the Indian Scout 60. Go to your local dealer, and you'll pay $9,000. You'll pick up a fantastic, solid little bike. Keep the shiny side up, folks.